just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. Another episode of Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille Smith. I hope everyone can hear me. I hope everyone can hear me. I am your host, Kamille Smith, and this is episode 230th. Brr, 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 brr. I'm looking at how it's looking, trying to make sure everything is crisp, everything is proper. All right, folks. I know I'm a little late. I'm late. My bad. My bad. Um, it's been one heck of a month, and I am just trying to make sense of everything. Everything. So bear with me today. But I have some good news. I should have the arm sling on right now, but it's not on right now. I am probably gonna put it on throughout the day, throughout the conversation, but I feel much better than before with my shoulders. Um, hmm, it was a lot. It was very trying. Man, I if y'all know me, when it comes to being injured or not feeling well, and I feel a type of way, I'm the worst. So I did shut down. I did isolate myself. So that's kind of why I didn't have an episode last week. I've been trying to deal with this injury. And for the folks that has been checking on me after I mentioned complaints or has made the effort to look out for me and things, I appreciate y'all. And even big up to the people that like gave me suggestions. So I'm not sponsoring anyone, but this ish right here is a lifesaver. Having turmeric and pineapple or just inflammation with when it comes to an injury has been doing me wonders. But yeah, I did not have an episode last week. That was because I had that AI one, and I thought that one was a pretty good one. I was like, okay, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm not a front. I had a little hiccup of what I was going to talk about today, but we're here. Big up my friend Shayna for giving me an idea, because you know what? Especially because it's summertime now that the weather is beautiful, minus that little lightning thunderstorm that happened on Thursday. Yikes! The weather's been pretty nice. And when it comes to um summertime and you wanna like be outside and things, I've come to realize that the spending when it comes to summertime is real. So I wanted to have an episode about eating, whether you want to eat in or whether you want to do takeout. And if y'all know me, I'm a foodie. I am a foodie, so it's very tricky when it comes to um, whether I want to cook, whether I want to buy something Uber Eats or like get it myself. Cause golly, the fees are enough. But I have like uh, I have articles as norm and stuff, and I have a way that I want to structure this conversation. So I am gonna have a question throughout the time. I am going to have talk to everyone that's here and big up yourself if you're in the building. Give me a shout out if you're here. Oh, something is missing. Something is missing. There we go. All right. So now that I see that everything's good, everything's crisp, let's get this show on the road. So I wanted to start it off with the true cost of takeout versus cooking. I want you guys to be honest. Anyone that's listening, send a message or anything. Do you know the cost of taking out and cooking? Because sheesh, it's gone up in a long price gone up. And I've been looking at articles, and there is one that was a little bit shocking to me. Boom! I found it. I just want to know if you guys agree with this one. So bear with me. I like to share my screen um, with this one. There we go. There it is. So I'm gonna first go based on, you can see the screen, how much it costs to do groceries, and then rock with that, right? So this article, which is a very interesting article because it's a couple months ago. This article is actually saying that a single person, the average grocery cost is $297 to $400 monthly, and this depends on age, gender, and location. I know there's some people gonna be like, okay, Kamille, especially because in Toronto and just inflation, the price has gone up. But if we think about it when it comes to this, we have to think about how much is it going to actually cost between getting the groceries and actually doing a takeout. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you a story. Right. Let me tell you a story with the cost of taking out versus cooking. Um, we all know it's most times 5 times more to do takeout than cooking. However, we also have to think of different things, and I will talk about it throughout the episode. Is the time, because I know a lot of us do is a convenience. Oh, it's gonna take this long to do this. I might as well just do a takeout. But yeah, think about how long it takes to actually get that takeout as well. But that's one thing that we'll talk about after. So I have a lot of articles. I decided to give you guys a lot of articles today, but I want to find the one with the takeout and then a solution between doing a takeout or cooking, or even another thing that grocery stores are actually trying to help with us is the ready-made meals. And that you also have to weigh that option as well. Mm, 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 mm. Where is it? Is it? Was it this one? Actually, it is this one. Hold on 2 seconds. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I can't find it, but I know I can. But okay, I want to give you a story. So, example. So the other day, they got my friends who were coming to check on me while I wasn't feeling well. It was, I want to say the receipt cost about, I want to say less than $75. Okay, less than $75, and we were able to get corn, shrimp skewers, chicken, and barbecue, right? So that was less than 75. And there was some more. Oh, it was chicken skewers actually. So now I remember the whole thing because now I was like, ooh, this is good. So it was chicken skewers, salmon skewers, and shrimp skewers. And this is for 4 people. And it costs less than 75 bucks. Where do you know when you go to a restaurant and it's less than $75 for 4 people? Where? Where? You can't find that nowhere. So, right? So that's just one thing. The difference when it comes to takeout versus cooking. And I think, and I know someone's gonna say, oh well, Kamille, not everyone has the opportunity to grill in like in a backyard or anything. That's fair. That is true. But there's also ways where we can, grab some food and just cook on a stove or in an oven and stuff. Um, and that's whether you're in an apartment, basement apartment, house, and everything. That goes for everyone, right? So I just wanna help you guys realize that and I know some of you say, but Cam, but the prices of grocery. I know. But there's certain things that like you can buy together to be able to cut that cost because there's no way that you can spend less than $75 and get that same amount of stuff. Nowhere. If there is a way that where you do takeout, Uber Eats, dining in, let me know. I'll challenge you. Right? So that's like the true cost of grocery cooking to take out. And let's not forget them hidden fees with Uber. It's just ridiculous with service fees and stuff. I want folks to be mindful about that. Like it's really bad. Like if you think about it, it's really bad. Like how much like some of the food is. Ooh, I think I found it. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I think I found the article. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Because I want, like, even though I gave you guys an example of it, I just want to show you guys an article like I normally do as for the perspective. So let's see. Oh, okay. I knew I had it. Okay, so I had the article, but then I closed it by accident. Yes, this is when I remember. I closed it by accident. My bad, y'all. My bad. Oh golly. Okay, so here's the one. Um, so over the past 12 months, the cost of meals prepared outside the home have climbed 3.1%, while the cost of groceries rose only 1%. The average price per serving of home cooked meals is $4.31, while the average cost of eating out is $20.37. Golly. So like let's put that into perspective, right? Sure, let's put that in perspective. Good thing I have all mine. So let's say $4. I'm going to represent for a couple. Let's say a couple, okay? Not so 431 times 2, that's 862. So let's round it up to $10, right? Actually, no, I'll keep it at that. 862 times 5, $43.10, right? Cool. So if we think about the average cost of eating out is $20.37 times 2, because it's a couple, times 5. It's 203. So imagine the difference that it takes with the takeout and eating in. And this is an example that I gave you guys that something that was less than $75 that was able to hold over 4 people, it just shows you that it makes more sense to have a home cooked meal. Especially if you enjoy cooking, then kudos to you. Because and I want you guys to think about this when it comes to cooking at home. Most likely your meal is more healthier because you know these people put things in a MSG and just too much sodium or too much sugar and all that good stuff. Like you just gotta be mindful about like type of things that are being in a restaurant, right? So I just wanted y'all to think about that. But we also want to think about the convenience inflation. And this one is annoying because we all know when it comes to convenience, that's when things are really expensive, right? So I want you to think about it this way. Actually, I have so many examples when it comes to this because I always think about like Uber Eats. Yes, sometimes I get Uber Eats, sometimes more than often, but I have simmered down on that, especially during my detox. So I this detox, y'all, sheesh, sheesh. Um, I'm actually happy with this detox, but um, I want to tell you about Uber Eats. So if anyone knows about Uber Eats, you know that they have a delivery fee and a service fee. I wish I could show you guys a receipt recently, but there was one day, what was it? Was it the day my shoulder was broke and I really couldn't drive? So I decided to get Uber Eats. Decided to get the Uber Eats, and I listen. Let me tell you the order. I'm gonna tell you the order because let me see what it is. The order. It was. Was it this? Ooh. Oh, it's not going to show. That's why. Oh no, there it is. It was. Was it a burger? All I know is okay. I'm actually really embarrassed to say this, but hey, you live and you learn. I bought a burger. I think I bought 2 items. So I bought chicken. I got grilled chicken because I wanted something with grilled chicken, and then I got a matcha latte. The matcha latte alone was $20, and that's because let me see if I can see the 2026. So the matcha latte by itself was $6.99, but the delivery fee was 7.99, and sorry, delivery fee and the service fee was um $2.50. That's outrageous. Um, if you folks actually really look, and you know what? Here. I'm gonna show you what this dang thing means. Oh, watch out. And I know someone's gonna be like, so why'd you do it? Because I was injured. I couldn't go. I couldn't do anything, so I had no choice but to order. Okay, so allow me on that one. Oh, I'm gonna send it to myself. Oh, this actually hurts a lot. So I want this to be a lesson for y'all because I have to tell you things that are actually happening in my life so you understand. So this is a delivery fee. Delivery fee is obviously um shortening it. So the delivery fee, this is what Uber Eats does, and I guess there's others like Instacart and all that stuff. does the same, right? Delivery fee varies from each merchant based on the things that you like, your location, and availability. So obviously, the further the place is, the more the delivery fee is gonna be. So ideally, most times I actually go for food places that is less than $4. They got me good because I didn't actually see which place this was, and I just wanted a matcha latte. I just wanted to stay up and stuff, right? So they got me like that. I'm actually annoyed that that happened, but whatever, right? So not only is there a delivery fee, and in the most I've paid for a delivery fee, because I can't, no, I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't know about the location. I was just so into the food that I already had made the commitment that I wanted to get that food. But that's like doesn't happen often, but the most I can remember right at this moment is 10.99. I'm not gonna do that a lot, but whatever. So that means you have the service fee, which this applies to delivery orders, and they vary orders only and vary based on store categories. Restaurants vary per order was between 250 to 650. So then amount was that amount was 250. Okay. Um, and then there's retail, grocery stores, and all that good stuff, right? But and then taxes. And then there's tax, and I gave a tip. It wasn't a big tip because I did like actually, you know what? Now that I think of it, I got gypped. There's a reason why this happened. Because usually when you order one thing and then you add a next thing, they get rid of everything. But I guess I did not meet the criteria, and then it costed $20. So let this be a lesson, y'all, that the cost of convenience expensive, brethren. And I want you guys to know that like all these places, like when it comes to like tariffs and inflation, yeah, they brought the prices up high, right? So don't make this be you again. Don't make this be you. There's one more. Oh, and I don't know if I wanna. I don't know if I've had this discussion really, but there's all discussion about tipping, and I don't know how everyone feels about tipping. It depends. It depends. But however, hold on. I know I have to. I want to do a poll. Uh, I want to do a poll with you guys, but actually, no. The tipping culture can be a different story. But yeah, I really want everyone to realize like the convenience, inflation, and just being mindful of like when it comes to the cost of convenience is very expensive. So I want us to be very mindful of that. Like a simple example, the cost of making your coffee, tea, or whatever at home compared to like going to Cockroach Hortons, sorry, Tim Hortons, or just making it at home. The convenience of you going to a place, it costs more. It actually costs more because of the gas and everything. You could have just made it at home and then it'd have been cheaper, right? So I want everyone to be mindful about of that. And just yeah, I just want you to be mindful about how much it's actually gonna cost, right? So then I want to so here's a here's a tricky part. Here's a tricky part when it comes to this is time versus money. I'm a person that believes in opportunity cost, right? So there is some times where I'm like, you know what? I rather I'm okay with paying that cost because it I'm okay with paying that cost because of the amount of time it's gonna take for me to make it. Um, I'd rather just pay for it, right? But I'm not saying you should do that all the time. That is not what I'm saying. I'll never say that. That is being irresponsible and things, right? So I want you to be mindful about that as well. But being aware of the time versus money, and I do have an article for that one. That one, ooh, actually, if you think about it, when it comes to okay, so there's a different way to think about this, and I'm thinking of it in a way where one, you can either do the takeout. Two, you can get already made food, or three, you can do takeout. I am more on the side of going to the grocery store and getting something where I can have more than 2 to 3 servings, right? I'm good about that. So there's often times I go to the grocery store and if you see the rotisserie chicken and you can like fix up a whole bunch of things, wagwan, wagwan. Good afternoon or good evening. Kind of evening time or good night. Right? Um, you definitely, I think when it comes to ready-made meals, I'm okay with that more so. And hold on. I think I'm trying to think which one. Ooh, this is gonna help the folks that are busy entrepreneurs like myself. Uh, so here's a tip. Here's a tip. So I said either cooking, the ready-made prep meals, or takeout. I think it's ideal to do the ready-made because it is cheaper. It is cheaper than doing takeout, right? It is cheaper, but it's cheaper to cook. So, like, let's say one thing I can think about is with already made food is a rotisserie chicken that's already made, right? But if you think about like chicken wings, and maybe chicken wings is not the best one because I can have chicken wings in one sitting. And I think what you can get that package for $10. Then you gotta clean it, and then you gotta make it marinate for a little bit. So it's gonna take like 3 hours time, right? So this is what I used to justify. I was like, oh, okay, um, I will instead of me spending 3 hours cooking, I'll just order it. It takes 20 minutes, and then I'll be able to still do work and stuff, right? However, that costs $16. And that adds up. If you think about it in a week, that actually adds up. It's the same concept as what we talked about with the true cost of takeout, right? So I like to be mindful, and so those are one-offs and stuff. But I think it's ideal to go to the grocery store, get the ready-made meals, and then have a field day. And then you're able to have something for a rainy day. And this is when you have a busy schedule. However, there are ways to help, and I found an article for this. I found the article, and that is meal prepping. Bam, 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 bam. So it's actually essential to do. What the? Hold on. Oh, sorry guys, I'm using a Wi-Fi I'm not used to, so bear with me. Let's see, let's try this again. Did it work? Okay. There. I was like, I guess you're busy. And you prefer to cook, then let's do meal prep. Golly, there we go. Jeez. Okay, so number one reason is time saving. You can buy the meals already made. But I want you guys to think of it as meal prepping. Golly. Being wild. It's being wild, but sorry. So meal prepping, you'll be able to save time overall. So you don't have to worry about meal day. There's going to be someone out there that's going to be like, not if you're a busy entrepreneur. Stop this. Or a busy person in general. Family and all that stuff. Unless you have a chef who'll see you. That it's the other thing is healthy eating. Unless you like a lot of fried stuff, then you have to be mindful about that. But you, if you're not frying them as much, portion control. You can have it depending on how you eat. A person like varieties, you can make your meal preps fun, or you can make them not so fun. But I would say making them fun, just so you can see what type of food you like, and all that great stuff. Uh, Give me a second. Okay, so everything's freezing, so it's kind of cheesy me, but I'm still a little raw. Yeah, because you guys are giving me, you know, don't say meetings. Oh my gosh, where's she been? Um, I'm trying to make a the question on last we might have to have a to do that. And also I do have some tips for planning meals on a budget. That one I'm gonna keep. You're not going to push me off of this new tool. Okay. So um yeah, when it comes to like time versus money, I really want you guys to think about, ladies and gentlemen, to think about um what it takes. What it takes with your time and money. And do opportunity cost, honestly. Like do that to see, does it make more sense for me to meal prep? Does it make more sense for me to do the food delivery? Because mind you, so depending on what type of food it is, sometimes it takes an hour, right? Sometimes it takes an hour for Uber to actually bring. And when you're hungry, and you wait. The other day, this is a true story. These are only stories. I had to do Uber Eats because I was not feeling well, and my brother wasn't home to bring me the soup I needed. The soup probably took 45 minutes to an hour to arrive to me. Oh my gosh! Do not wait till the very last minute. Oops, sorry. Do not wait till the very last minute. Why did I miss? To do that. To order food. When you're hungry, do not wait till the very last minute because it's just not a good idea. Um, but I mean, okay, so like a soup, the soup that I got, that would have taken me 3, 4 hours. Okay, maybe I'm boosting. Actually, no, prepping and everything would have taken me 3 hours, and I didn't have the strength to do that. So it made sense for me to do the delivery and also I wasn't feeling well. So it made sense with that. However, let's say the other day when it was chicken skewers, salmon skewers, that took an hour, but I wouldn't have gotten that in an hour if it was like a delivery. That would have been like an hour, hour and a half, and it tastes dang good. So actually, no, it did take longer to get the gas. But that's besides the point. Time versus money. Which trade-off is worth it? I mean, ideally, it is better just to food. Because remember, again, that article that I saw, it's 5 times more. So remember the $4? $4 versus $20. I'll choose the $4 any day, unless I'm not feeling well or something I'm really craving for is is on Uber Eats, and that doesn't happen a lot. But I mean, and I jumped the gun with the other conversation. What was it? Actually, no, meal prepping hacks. Okay, so let's see if I can do this one. Okay, so here's some tips that we can finally I'm gonna give y'all some tips. All right, so this is the article 10 tips to get started on meal prepping on a budget. Make sure you have your pens and paper, folks. This is gonna be a good one. Okay, so 10 tips again. The first one, and the first one's a good one, or you can say something else. Make a menu. And you know what? It's either make a menu or make a list. So, and I wish I could show you guys. So on our fridge we have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you could just say what type of thing you want to make. Maybe tacos Tuesdays. A lot of people do that. Wednesday wings. What do people have Mondays? Meatballs Mondays. Things like that. Or you can just think of simply making a meal. Sorry, a menu. Just to see what list of items you're actually going to get from the grocery store. And this is a bonus one. Do not go to the grocery store when you're hungry. Don't go. Don't go. It's probably going to be on this list, but don't go. Don't go. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Um, this one I think people will agree. This is going to be tricky based if you're how busy you are, right? Plan your meals around food that are on sale. So you can check your flyers. I think flyers come Thursday, Friday, right? Thursdays. So you can prepare for Friday. Coupons. You could check out those, or someone's gonna hate me, but this actually makes sense too. And this is like part of the thing that I'm doing. Plan some plant-based food every week. Meat expensive. Meat is expensive, Regin. But trust me, when you start doing like more plant-based, I'm not talking about that processed fried shit. I'm talking, excuse my French. I'm talking about like actual, like organic things. It's more better, and you just feel healthier, and it actually costs less, right? It does cost. Oh, someone's gonna read this or hear this, and they're gonna feel targeted. Check your pantry. I'm talking to you. You haven't looked in your pantry before going to the grocery store, did you? You didn't go into your fridge or your freezer. Check your freezer. I know you have. I know you have a pack of chicken in there. I know you have a pack of ground beef or ground turkey. However, I know you have it. Check the expiry date too. Check the expiry date. You never know. You don't want to get sick, But if it's in the freezer, it's debatable. It's debatable, right? Check it. Actually check the expiry date again. And if it's fruits, and we're trying not to waste food. I'm trying to see if we have the ingredients already that we don't have to spend it, right? But try not to waste food. Have those things. This one I can't relate because you know me, you know that enjoy grains more often. Grains such as rice, pasta, barley, couscous. Couscous is nice. Couscous and quinoa. So fun fact, when I was doing my detox and I was trying to get look more at gluten free, couscous is not gluten free, and I didn't realize. I did not realize that. But no, when I'm in the mood, I do have pasta. When I'm in the mood, or when things are rough, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to do this pasta stuff. When times are rough, you just gotta make that original mac and cheese, not craft dinner. You just gotta make your own mac and cheese and stuff. Ooh, here's something that avoid recipes that need a special ingredient. Um, and this is like for folks like different cuisines. Different cuisines need certain type of spices, right? But you can't use that spice for anything else. That's what it's trying to say is like these type of ingredients is gonna cost you because you're just gonna unless you like there's gonna be a week where you're gonna be having that ingredient, that special ingredient, and then you're gonna change it up with different things. But you're just gonna have to be consistent with that one cuisine. That's a solution to avoid that. Ooh, next one is look for seasonal recipes. Um, Vegetables and fruits are less expensive when they're in season. Frozen and canned choices are also a good buy. Depends how you feel about that. Depends how you feel about that. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. Um, but yeah, depends how you feel about that. Uh, what else? What else? Ah, this is my forte. This is my forte. Plan to use leftovers. Yo, the rotisserie chickens? Sella! Pigeon. Sella! Can't talk. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Yo, I'll have that rotisserie chicken. I'll like buy. I'll have like the drumstick. I don't like the thigh. I really have to like start buying rotisserie chicken and then just try and give away to other people close by. Thighs, I don't like the thighs. But yeah, the rotisserie chicken, you can make a salad. You can make pulled chicken and put that in the salad. You can have it like, or you can just make something else with it. Or even when I think of leftovers, like when I get ground beef, not ground beef. I'm just accustomed to saying ground beef. Ground turkey or ground chicken. I haven't had beef since 2018. Um, when I have ground turkey, I make my lettuce wrap. And I just rock with that for the week or whatnot. Or not the week, couple days. Lasts like 2 or 3 days. Um, but I should start utilizing it a little bit more. Like make half of it the lettuce wrap and then half of it like meatballs and then make the spaghetti or so that's the next time I buy the ground turkey, I'm definitely gonna do that. Oh, this is no brainer. Make make extras. That's no brainer. um Make 2 batches of lasagna instead of one. I always think meal prep is like making a there's some people that don't like eating the same meal every day. I'm not that person, ideally, but I don't think there's an issue with making 2 types of meals, especially if you have time. at the same time, so you can alternate. That's what I think it does with making extras, is like just making a large amount of stuff so you can have it for a long period of time. Something else, I'd say at least make a meal that lasts like 4 days if you have it like one meal, but if you have two meals, then it should last you for the week, right? Um, this is a this is a kind one. Know what your family likes to eat. Encourage your family to share their favorites and help with menus. So be menu planning. So we used to do this. Um, the best thing about me is I can eat almost everything, right? So like my dad will make something, chicken, salmon, or whatever, and I'll eat that. My brother will make something alkaline. I'm okay as long as it's not so spicy. She's been making stuff very spicy as of late. Cool. I could eat it. The only issue is I'm the shrimp lover. Oh no, my dad loves shrimp. He doesn't like chicken anymore. But if I have corn, oh, he'll mash up some corn. So you just gotta know what like some of your family likes or what you can make that they can eat as well. I'm not gonna lie, as of late, I've probably been more selfish with what I make because if I make the ground turkey, I know my brother can't eat it. But I made stir fry the other day. Oh, I wish I remember what I made. I made stir fry. I made stir fry. I had a lot of veggies in my stuff, and my dad. I think it was the ground turkey actually. If I think about it, because it was bean sprouts, peppers, bok choy, and stuff. So yeah, it's probably the same thing. If you guys remember what I said, show it on my on my story by all means. But he was very happy. He wanted me to make stir fry as of late, and I did it. But I also need to get that feeling of cooking again. I've lost that in the last couple years. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm hoping to find the love of cooking again and stuff. But I meal prepping, or if someone wants to cook for me, by all means, I will buy the food. You can cook it for me. So if there's any chefs out there that likes to cook and things, I'm all about it. Man, I had so many articles, but I was flustered at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. Just this injury, it takes me longer to do things. It's very annoying when it comes to only using one hand. But I'm it's a blessing that I don't even have to wear the arm sling right now. But I am gonna wear it as soon as I let y'all go. And I think there's one last thing. Sorry, there's one last thing. When to treat yourself without guilt. So there are folks that's going to see this episode and feel bad that they use Uber Eats all the time and do takeout or go to McDonald's or go wherever. Um, if you have if you have a budget, sure. However, ooh, fun fact, I found the article. So you remember how I said the average cost, grocery cost for folks is 297 to 400? So they're saying that your this is wild, y'all. They're saying that the average cost to spend, experts, this is their recommendation. Hmm. I'll, I'll show you guys what the recommendation is. And then I'll get back to not feeling guilt and stuff, right? 15% of your monthly income goes towards groceries, right? Um, I want I want you guys to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest and say if that's how you truly see your budget. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, right? Um, I think, yo, my stomach controls me more than it ever. Especially when I'm craving for something. There's nothing worse than craving for something and you will not stop until you get it. That's why I have this part where it's that's why I have this section is when to treat yourself without guilt. And I'm not saying when you're having that craving and you're just saying I don't care. I've had a time where I had a craving and I stopped. I said no, I'm not going to go with this craving, and I was not happy until I actually got what I wanted, right? And I know that's gonna be like, okay, Camille, that's not good. But there is I do have some tips with going out guilt free. Um I know some people are not gonna like this, but you don't have to blow your wallet when you want to go out and stuff, right? So big up Capital One. You know, I don't really like them, but whatever. Here we are. Here's some tips to going out guilt free, right? So the first one is you're always gonna hear me say it, have a budget for entertainment. Have a treat yourself fund. I always talk about that. Treat yourself fund because at the end of the day, while you're paying off debt, saving, investing, life is lifing and day to day, you want to be able to stay sane and be able to do things that will make you enjoy life or find things that are low cost, but it's gonna save at the end. Prioritize experience. Spending time with friends or loved ones doesn't have to cost much. I big up my homegirls. Oh, first of all, the fact that I have friends from grade six, that we still talk. We may not talk all the time, but like when we're chilling, it's good times. It doesn't cost us a lot. Like there was a time, what we were supposed to go out to a restaurant, and then we were like, "Yo, why don't we just like come to my place, and then we'll just bring food." And it was way cheaper to do that, and then we were able to like have a great time. I just decided not to drink, and I went. But it's all good. Those type of experiences is worthwhile, right? Like you don't have to go to a restaurant all the time, or you can do different things to experience a great time with your loved ones or your friends. So definitely, like whether it's potlucks, just hanging out, picnics and stuff, it's so much worth it to do it like that, right? Um, you see, it's going back to eh. There's also choosing free for lower cost of activities. It costs not well, costs something, but like if you're really creative or you Google, like there's so many things that are happening in Toronto, right? And there's stuff that you can do low cost. Like look, things to do, things to do in Toronto this weekend. Let's see. There's 15 things to do in Toronto this weekend. I'm only going to talk about the low cost ones. I don't know what this is. Indonesian Food Festival. That's at Ilum Dundas. Sorry, I call it Ilum Dundas. Don't ban me. There's the Beaches Jazz Street Festival. That's dope. That's affordable. Yes, you probably have to drive there to TTC. It's up to you. Uh, Coffee party at Triple A. That's probably something low budget. Things like that. There's Toronto Festival of Beer. Obviously, you'd have to pay, but be mindful. Summer live music festival and things like that. So there's like all you have to do is search things to do in Toronto, things to do in Hamilton, things to do in London, wherever you live, things to do in Markham, and you'll be able to have a low cost and things, right? What's the other one? Ooh, this is obvious. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. If you plan ahead, you'll be able to not spend as much. That makes sense. Trying to look through these because I think I have to wrap up just now. Take advantage of deals. Yo, you know what? You know which place I haven't been on in a minute? Groupon. I need to Groupon. Utilize your loyalty programs. You know, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, Camille, you always use optimum points." It's like, yes, because it works. It works. And things, right? Or just look like there's so many deals. There's actually a lot of deals, especially if you do like newsletters and stuff. Uh, yeah, just look at the deals or the library. This one's a good one. This is like kind of the same thing with like potlucks and stuff. Is share expenses. Like when it comes to doing activities, share the expense. It'll yo paying half of it is better than paying full price or paying like have everyone pay for it. But this depends because like okay, so like example, if you're thinking about like going to Canada's Wonderland or CNE, you have to it's per person. But if like the potluck, you can cut costs on that or even carpooling and stuff. Share expenses sometimes, people. Um, again, sorry, y'all. Practice mindful spending. I think I really tried to promote this as being mindful of your spending. Um, don't just tap tap tap. I always and this is gonna annoy one of my friends because they actually don't realize what I do. I actually look at my because I put my money away in a savings and then I transfer the money back into a different account. So I always look to see how much money we have to transfer. I know it sounds dumb and silly, but I just like to be mindful of the money I'm spending. So I always check to see like, it's gonna cost that much. Okay, there's enough in it. There's not enough. Let me transfer the money over here and all that stuff, right? I can't take embarrassments. I can't take embarrassments. Set limits. Set limits. Um, like, oh, I'm not gonna spend more than this much. I'm not gonna spend more than that much. Stick to your budget. If you say you're gonna spend $25, just spend $25. Unless it's like, something. Unless it's like a meal that's like crazy. And when I mean a meal, like let's say like CNE. See, you see how CNE has like wild type of. This year they're going off. I think they're gonna put ice cream in the patty. Ah, not something like that, right? But like say, oh, I'm having a matcha latte chicken waffles type of thing. I just thought about it. Oh, if you want to take my idea, you can take my idea. But it costs $26 or 27. Who knows if I'm gonna ever have that time to have that experience? I'll go over just a little bit, just for that, right? Explore alternative options. Um, I I got happy and then I got sad because I was supposed to go to games night the day I got injured. And I didn't go because I was really sad. And then last week, my friends came over and we played. It's right beside me right now, actually. Tower Stack and Collide. And it was pretty cool. Like I haven't done a games night in a while, so I really liked that. So it's like getting together. You can do different things when you get together, folks. Whether it's games, um, doing at-home movie marathons, Netflix series, or DIY craft sessions. Yeah, there's just different alternatives to think about, right? And the last but not least, when you're budgeting, wow, that was a typo. Have fun. Have fun. Whether you're doing it by yourself, you're doing it with others, have fun. They say it's important to have a positive mindset about entertainment spending. And just being mindful about it and just not blowing all your money on like a one time experience, but like, you know, planning how you're going to have these low cost, no cost activities and stuff throughout the summer, throughout the year and things, and just be mindful about that. And yeah, I had too many articles as norm. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that little spiel. Again, thank you, Shayna, for giving me an idea. When it comes to the cost, the convenience is gonna kill your budget and dreams. And the last thing I need is your budget and dreams to be mash up because of how much it costs to do takeout and just the convenience inflation. So let's start being mindful about that. Take the Uber Eats off your phone. I think that will be a challenge. Um, Next week is Caravana. Hello, hello to the Americans coming or the UKs and all that stuff. Take Uber Eats off your for a week, for 2 weeks. Challenge yourself. I know I was challenged with this detox. No alcohol, no sugar, uh, no fried food. I was really craving wings. So I was calling up places. I was like, "Oh, how do you guys fry your wings? You like because there's what I used to eat wing machine, but one fire on them because of a bad experience. Done. But yeah, I couldn't even have that, and I am craving for wings, but because it's fried, I wasn't going to back down on that. But just be mindful about like your the things that you want to cut off and cutting costs because when you take off the Uber, you don't have to deal with that delivery fee, you don't have to deal with that service fee, or if you want to do a meal that is on Uber Eats, just go actually call. This I'm pretty sure folks know this. If you actually call in, you'll realize that price on Uber Eats is more expensive. They mark it up. The restaurants mark it up. That was actually one of the articles. And I just didn't have time to look for that one. It was there, but the title was different. The way that restaurants mark up the meals on Uber Eats is outrageous. So you might as well just you might as well just go to the restaurant, call them instead of doing it on Uber Eats because it's outrageous. So bun that. But yeah, I just want everyone to be mindful. Like again, like all the other episodes I've had, when it comes to summertime, you just turn full. It's yeah. Bring just turn full in your wallet's turn, bro. So be mindful. And thank you for being patient with me, all. And I know some of y'all are looking out for me, and thank you. I had a great conversation today. with a friend. Definitely gonna take that into consideration. So I appreciate everyone. Make sure you check on your strong friends because they need it more than you'll ever know. Ooh, hold on, Minion Can. Let's see what he just said. Just found a $50 gift card for Skip the Dishes in my email. Watcha! Yes, embrace those two. Golly, embrace those gift cards. Always use your gift cards first before you get rid of them. And what else? Yeah, so check on your friends. It still works from 2022. Jeez and peas. Yo, those hidden ones are always amazing. But yeah, check on your friends, the strong friends, because you don't know what they're going through. Oh, sweet. You don't know what they're going through. Be mindful when it comes to the convenience and all that stuff. And yeah, like, comment, tell a friend, tell a friend. Um, I I hope I am in a better mood because July was July, golly. And then Pyramid is next week. I do want to do something. I fingers crossed. I will record before. I'm not saying I'm going to the parade. I just want to have a relaxing time. I want to do my tradition. Shucks, I don't even know if I'm gonna go to Juve or anything. So we will see. We will see. But yeah, until then, stay safe, stay hydrated. Wow. Stay hydrated, stay safe. Check on your friends and just breathe a little. August is coming, 2025. We want to end 2025 with a bang. So just, check out the cost of your takeout. All right. Till next time, folks. Peace and love.
I just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see?